I started noticing something strange the moment the first whispers about test screenings began to surface. Usually, when early reactions leak out, they feel controlled, almost predictable, like a carefully managed wave of hype. But this time, it felt different. The words people were using weren't just positive, they were extreme. Words like unbelievable, shocking, and even the best Marvel movie ever started popping up. And I know what you're thinking. We've heard that before. Every big Marvel release gets that early praise, but this time, I think there's something deeper going on, something that's not just marketing noise. Because when insiders start emphasizing tone, intensity, and emotional impact instead of just spectacle, that's when I start connecting the dots. That's when I begin to wonder if Marvel has finally decided to shift gears in a way we haven't seen since Infinity War. So I dug deeper into these test screening reactions, trying to separate the usual hype from the genuine signals. And what stood out to me wasn't just that people liked the movie. It was how they described the experience. They weren't talking about fun moments or cool action sequences. They were talking about tension, unpredictability, and a sense that the story doesn't play it safe. That's a huge deal. Because if there's one criticism Marvel has faced recently, it's that the stakes don't feel real anymore. But these reactions suggest something very different. I started imagining what kind of story would make viewers react like that. What kind of narrative would push the MCU into darker territory again? And that's when one particular element kept coming up again and again. Not directly, but through hints, through tone, through the kind of threat people were describing. It felt like the presence of a villain who isn't just powerful, but overwhelming. And that naturally led me to the biggest rumor surrounding this film, the introduction of Dr. Doom. Now, I know we've been hearing about Doom for years, but this time, the conversation feels more grounded, more connected to actual developments. I started thinking about what Doom represents as a character. He's not just another villain who wants to destroy the world. He's a strategist, a ruler, someone who believes he's the only one capable of saving reality itself. And that's what makes him terrifying. Because when a villain believes they are right, when they genuinely think their actions are justified, that creates a completely different kind of conflict. It's no longer just heroes versus evil. It becomes a battle of ideologies. And if Avengers Doomsday is leaning into that, then we're not just getting a big action movie. We're getting something much more complex. As I kept piecing this together, I started to realize how perfectly Dr. Doom fits into the current state of the MCU. Think about it. The multiverse is already unstable. Timelines are colliding. Reality itself feels fragile. Now imagine introducing a character who not only understands this chaos, but knows how to control it. That's the key. Doom isn't just reacting to the multiverse crisis, he could be the one shaping it. And if that's true, then the Avengers aren't just facing a threat. They're walking into a game that's already been set up long before they even realized it. That's where the tension comes from. That's where those intense reactions might be coming from. Because if the heroes are constantly one step behind, if they're trying to fight something they don't fully understand, then every victory feels uncertain. And this is where the tone shift starts to make even more sense. If Dr. Doom is truly at the center of this story, then the movie almost has to be darker. It has to feel more serious, more grounded in consequences. I started imagining scenes where the Avengers aren't just struggling physically, but mentally, where they're forced to question their own decisions, their own role in this broken universe. Because that's what Doom does. He doesn't just fight you, he makes you doubt yourself. And if the film captures that, if it really leans into that psychological warfare, then it could explain why early viewers are reacting so strongly. It's not just about what happens, it's about how it makes you feel. But then, there's another piece of this puzzle that I couldn't ignore. CinemaCon. April 16th. That date keeps coming up, and it feels like a turning point. Because CinemaCon isn't just another event. It's where studios reveal what they're truly confident about. And the reports suggest that Avengers Doomsday is going to have a major presence there. Maybe a first look, maybe exclusive footage. But here's the twist that caught my attention. There's no confirmation of a full public trailer. And that's interesting. Because when studios choose to show something only to a limited audience, it usually means they're testing reactions. They're building anticipation in a controlled way. And that makes me think whatever they show, it's going to be something big. I started imagining what that first footage might look like. Not a flashy montage, but something more focused. Maybe a quiet scene that slowly builds tension. Maybe a moment where the Avengers realize they're not in control anymore. And then, just a glimpse of Doom. Not a full reveal, but enough to establish his presence. Enough to make people feel that shift. Because sometimes what you don't show is more powerful than what you do. And if Marvel understands that, if they're playing this carefully, then the CinemaCon reveal could set the tone for everything that follows. It could change how people see this movie before a single trailer even drops. And this brings me to the bigger question. Why now? Why is Marvel choosing this moment to potentially introduce such a massive threat? I think the answer lies in where the MCU currently stands. After Endgame, everything felt like it was expanding, exploring new directions, new characters, but at the same time, something was missing. That central threat, that sense of urgency. And maybe, just maybe, Avengers. Doomsday is designed to bring that back, not by repeating the past, but by evolving it. By introducing a villain who operates on a completely different level. Someone who doesn't just react to events, but creates them. The more I think about it, the more it feels like this movie could be a turning point. Not just in terms of story, but in terms of how Marvel approaches its storytelling. A darker tone, higher stakes, more complex characters, and at the center of it all, a villain who challenges everything the heroes stand for. That's not just exciting, it's necessary. Because if the MCU wants to move forward, it can't just rely on nostalgia. It has to take risks. It has to surprise us again. And based on everything we're hearing, everything we're seeing, it feels like Avengers Doomsday might be doing exactly that. But of course, all of this comes with a huge amount of pressure. Because when expectations are this high, the margin for error becomes incredibly small. If the movie delivers, it could redefine the MCU for years to come. It could become the new benchmark, the film that brings everything back together. But if it falls short, the backlash could be just as intense. That's the risk. That's the challenge. And that's what makes this moment so fascinating. Because we're not just waiting for a movie. We're waiting for an answer. An answer to whether Marvel can still surprise us, still push boundaries, still tell stories that feel meaningful. And honestly, I think that's what makes this whole situation so exciting. The uncertainty, the mystery, the feeling that something big is coming, but we don't fully understand it yet. That's what keeps me hooked. That's what makes me want to keep digging, keep analyzing, keep connecting the dots. Because somewhere, in all these reactions, all these rumors, all these hints, there's a bigger picture forming, a picture of a story that could change everything. And if Avengers Doomsday truly delivers on that potential, then we might be looking at the beginning of a whole new era for the MCU. So now all eyes are on CinemaCon. All eyes are on that first reveal. Because whatever we see there, it's going to shape everything that comes next. And until then, all we can do is speculate, analyze, and wait. But if even half of these reactions are true, then something massive is on the horizon. Something that could redefine what a Marvel movie can be. And if you're as curious as I am to see how this all unfolds, make sure you like, share, and subscribe.